Hey, everybody, welcome to Speakers on Edge, where voices of vision share messages that matter. Now, today on the show, on our 15 minutes of fame, we have the most handsome Umar. Umar, who are you?
I am the chief mindset architect at Mindset Boosters, and my mission is to empower the world with the power of mindset so we get to live the lives that we truly, deeply want.
What on earth does that mean?
What that means in English is this, is that our mindset determines how we see the world, how we show up in the world. A good example could be is someone walking into a room and thinking they don't like me, I'm not good enough, and their body posture changes. If someone says hello, they're like, hi, and it just sets the tone for everyone else. But if you thought that you deserved to be there and you are powerful and incredible and you walked into that room, that it would be a totally different experience. We get to create the experience that we want. The only problem is we can't decide what our mindset is. We hope that we're confident, but sometimes we're not. But what if, and that was a question that I asked myself, what if we had the power of mindset so we could be powerful when we needed to be? We could be patient when we needed to be. We could be highly focused when the need arises. If we could decide how we wanted to feel and have command over our mindset, it would be a game changer for our lives.
What was it that actually triggered you to make a decision one day? I need to sort out my mindset.
So it wasn't so much. So I had gone to see someone that did neuro-linguistic programming. It would have been in the late 80s. And I went in and I couldn't figure out why I was holding myself back. Like I was talented and I loved what I did, but I could get a sense that I'm holding myself back. Went to see this woman, and whatever voodoo she did, I walked out of that meeting going, oh my God, it's like 150 pounds have been lifted off me and I can do whatever the hell I want and be of service to humanity. And as I was walking out of that meeting, I said, okay, I am going to learn this technology. And in 2003, I left Silicon Valley in high tech and switched over to brain tech to pursue this passion. And when I got to 2021, April 3rd, I was sitting in my house in Baltimore, Maryland, and I had a thought, I've got all this skill set, but have I made an impact in the world? And the answer was no. So within a month, I sold my house, got rid of all my possessions, and went on a quest, because that's what the ancients did. How can I make an impact in the world? And what came out of it was mindset boosters. What if I could empower people with the power of mindset that they could have on their phone anytime, anywhere? And that became my passion and my mission. And that's what we're executing right now. And it's been a game changer for a lot of people. All of a sudden, they're not living small, they're living beautifully large, happier lives, and accomplishing more.
Have you seen the movie The Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
Yes, I have.
I just while you were saying that, I was thinking you had to be Walter Mitty in that moment,
Definitely.
dreaming of a better life and then going out and having these incredible adventures.
Absolutely. And what's kind of interesting is if you go out there without any expectations, just like there's an old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, when you go out on an adventure, the adventures appear. And what came out of it was this mindset boosters. And what these are short audio programs that have neuro-linguistic programming. That's what Tony Robbins uses. Applied neuroscience, the latest cutting edge insights into the mind, and something quite ancient, hypnosis. And these programs allow you to take charge of your mindset. Let me give you an example. Came across this young lady who took the year off between high school and university. And for the entire year, she's been freaking out in terms of, oh my God, I hope I pass the entrance exam and get into this university I want to get into. And so I said, hey, listen to one of the mindset boosters. It's called Talk to Future Self. And in that 7-minute journey, the first part of it is we help people go into the alpha state. This is where you quieten down the conscious mind and you open up the ability to learn very, very quickly. And then we have her go into a cottage, sit down in a chair in her mind, and across from her, she invites her future self that's passed the university and gotten honors and an amazing job. And that future self has a conversation with her. 7-minute journey to do that. When she gets out of that 7-minute mindset booster, she said almost all of a sudden, all the anxiety about this exam just disappeared. And I had this feeling that I got this. So she takes her exam and ends up being in the top 10% of all exam takers and gets a choice of classes. And that's the power of mindset boosters. Gives you the change you want exactly when you need it, whether it's being more confident or you want to feel joyful or you want to feel unstoppable.
So you left, you went on these adventures.
Yes.
You've told us this beautiful story of this young lady. Have you made your mark?
Getting there. Now we've got 140 programs that go from from places like one of the areas that really is a focus for me is when people get traumatized by others. So this whole section on bullying. Does bullying happen? Absolutely. Does it happen to the person that experienced it? Absolutely. But what we do as human beings is we make meaning out of those events. And I'm being bullied, so that must mean that I'm not good enough. So they listen to this track on bullying, and what it does is basically the event happened. They get to learn what they need to learn from that event, but we drain all the anxiety out of it. So we don't make this meaning that I am less than. Basically, we can switch on to confidence and go, I wonder what's happening in that person's world that they need to behave in this way. It's got nothing to do with me. So that is amazing. The other thing is there's people out there in this world that know that they're loved, but don't feel it. It's like, I don't feel I'm worthy of love. So they can go into a section that's around love and go in and remove all the blocks and the self-doubt so they can experience love fully. And more importantly, when they love others now, it's a more richer experience for other people as well. And that's what we're doing is continually expanding mindset boosters as we get feedback from our listeners saying, hey, can you help me in this area? And I'll give you an example of one of the areas that we're getting got a lot of feedback on is I'm going to university and high school and I am freaking out because there's all these tests, creates a ton of anxiety. And we have a lot of tracks to remove the anxiety. But we thought, you know what? If we could help people do better in school, so the anxiety just went away naturally. And so we just added in this section called super learning. And what we do is it's a 4-part series. There's an ancient methodology called memory pegs that go all the way back to ancient Greece, where you can actually remember any list and recall it 10 years later effortlessly. And that's what tests are, right? And so in the super learning area, we teach people how to do it, not just here's how you do it. We put them in a hypnotic trance so they actually learn it at a deep level. So literally within a half hour, they can actually do these pegs and start getting A's on their tests. And that just removes a ton of anxiety. So I want mindset
I
boosters
have
to
to
be a living.
interrupt.
Oh, please.
At this point, are you on the speaking circuit going around the schools and universities teaching this?
We are launching that literally this month. Universities are back in action, going to campuses and talking about how this will be a game changer. One of the things that really moved me, Jake, is that it is mind-boggling to me to know that there's people committing suicides in high schools, on university campuses because of the stress they're under. And that stress is not society putting stress on them. We're in a place where we're putting this stress on ourselves. Because when I went to school, none of that was happening at all. If it was happening, it was such a rare thing that you never found out about it. And now it's like we feel under the gun all the time. And yes, going out there, teaching this stuff. And the most important thing is putting it on people's cell phones. So when it's the dead of night and you're feeling anxiety and you can't go to sleep, you listen to a track that's going to remove the anxiety and knock you out so you get a brilliant night's sleep. So you wake up refreshed and knowing you're here to be successful and you got everything that you need when you need it.
I lived in Singapore for 6 months and in the Asian culture. the pressure of performance at school for children is extremely high. Now, sadly, in my complex, there was
Yes.
about six high-rise buildings in my complex that I was staying in. Um, One of the students, a 15-year-old, he jumped from the 23rd floor.
Yikes.
And it was because of the pressure of exams. And one of my friends, I was out with her one day. We actually went to pick up her child from the school. And the school has a sign on the wall saying, if you are anxious about your exams and you're getting pressure, come talk to us. We will help you. If they had
Yeah.
your tools, those sorts of things wouldn't happen. So I have to inform you, you have a huge market in Asia.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's and what's interesting is this is that I was working with this one company, and the least educated person. Well, he went to university, but didn't do very well at all. He was the
Mhm.
CEO, having a grand time, and just making a mark on the world. And one of his employees was a A student, did phenomenally well, and he's struggling. So this pressure we put on ourselves that you have to get this amazing grades, it doesn't correlate to doing well in life. But somehow, when we look inward, what we tend to do is we focus on the most negative things and we make them larger than life. And
Mhm.
what we need to do is take a step back. And one of the areas that I kind of put in as a fun thing is putting in a sports section on Mindset Boosters. So we said, like in golf, all right, golf is a head game. Basically, what's happening here, we teach people how to basically, before you go and play your game, and if the short game is your problem area, listen to one of those tracks. And so basically, the thing I love about Mindset Boosters is that it's a living, breathing app where we're adding new things in as we get feedback from our customers. Hey, can you do something around this? Or in sales, I've got this issue around handling objections. Can you add some more tracks there? So that becomes a relationship between our audience and us. It's our duty to provide the best technology to change, and they provide us feedback on how we can do better and what areas we need to add.
I have to ask this because there's a meme that's going around where all I need today is a cup of coffee, $3 million, and a hug. Now, okay, Mindset Boosters isn't going to help me with the coffee. That's okay. It's probably not going to give me the hug either. Can it help me with the $3 million?
Well, it's kind of interesting our relationship with money, right? And that. So I did this project earlier on. It was called the Happiness Project, where I asked people in different countries what makes you happy, and the answers I got back was, hanging out with my grandchildren, or spending time with my wife, or being in nature. Not one person in all the interviews we did mentioned anything about a new car, a new job, a new whatever. But when we asked the question, uh, are you happy? The answer was, oh, when I get the new job, when I get the new wife, when I get the new husband, when I get this. So isn't that curious when we have a different frame of mind? So what Mindset Boosters does is it puts you in the right frame of mind to do your very best in what you're doing. And when you do your very best in what you're doing, this is where the money is.
That is probably the greatest advice anyone could ever get, because I remember Bob Proctor saying, if you focus on debt, you create debt. And what we focus on is what we receive. And you see
Yeah,
people who are going through difficult times, and they seem to get more and more and more difficult times, but they can still be in that difficult place and have something good happen. And then as they focus on that good, all of a sudden the momentum occurs and it's a snowball effect.
absolutely. It kind of reminds me of I was listening to this Auschwitz survivor,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, we're not allowed to talk about this, But in those camps, we did have moments of joy in terms of not that the guards were doing anything, but humans themselves. It was like a little celebration of someone's birthday, or this was a stolen opportunity for happiness. Not everybody could do it, but it's all mindset. And that man's search for meaning, that was all about the mindset people had. Those survivors survived because of it. And I think in this world right now, we have so many luxuries and so many opportunities, and our mindset prevents us from executing. And that's what I want to do, is give people the power of mindset so they can make the world they're in right now heaven.
I love it. Umar, you have been incredible. Where can people find you? What's your web address?
The web address is mindsetboosters.com, and come there. There's a 7-day free trial. Try it out. Give us feedback. And one piece of advice for everyone listening to this, watching this, do me a favor. Someone in your life today, pick up the phone and just make them feel loved. And all it takes is acknowledging them, and it would change the world.
Love it. And also, we'll also have your handsome face on our beautiful website under the 15 Minutes of Fame page. There'll be a button that will link also to your website.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Umar. That's been 15 Minutes of Fame. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.